we go, guys, for the first episode of Creative Pickings. My name is Gio, your host, and we have an amazing, amazing guest. Her name is Hazel Faith.
Hey guys!
Yes! Who is Hazel Faith? She was a Himig Andog finalist 2014, featured in over 13 films since 2013, currently done filming for a brand new drama series entitled Blue Jeans. And, man, a single just came out today.
Today, on Spotify, yes.
Can you talk about that single briefly?
Oh yeah, Meron Nga Kaya, that's the title. And it's...
In English.
In English, is there something?
Is there something?
Is there something? But, you know, said in a sweeter way. But basically, it's for anybody in the situation where they're not really sure if they're just really close with this person or there's something more in there. Like, is there a relationship building, or is there, like, should they hope or should they not hope? Something like that.
Wow, you guys need to check it out. Meron nga kaya. Anyways, we have Hazel here because she is a creative person, and we only interview crazy, cool, creative people for Creative Pickings.
Emphasis on the crazy.
Crazy is important. No, not everyone is crazy. But something I found out about you when I first met you is you actually graduated with architecture.
Yes.
As a...
Specializing in interior design.
Yes, there you go.
Yes, but yeah, I graduated.
Which school did you graduate from?
I graduated Mapua Institute of Technology in Intramuros for BS Architecture. Yeah, I finished the course.
Why did you take architecture? What got you?
Well, I came to a point where I needed to choose a course, and I had no idea. I didn't want to face the reality that I really wanted music, so I was like, okay, you pick for me. I was like to my dad, you pick for me. You tell me what you want me to
So your
study.
dad decided...
Yeah, my dad decided, hey, you're good at drawing, so why not go for architecture? So we were
But
like,
you were already doing music before you decided to...
I was not.
You weren't doing music
No,
before you
not
decided to go
at
into
all,
architecture?
No. I wouldn't...
Wow.
I told you, I did not plan on being an artist or a musician in any sense or in any way. Not even in my wildest dreams. I never planned it.
Why?
I
When you were a kid then, what did you want to do? Like,
I dreamt about dancing with Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That's like the most memorable dream I had. But
Wow.
I just never, because we are a family of technical family, like engineers, accountants and stuff like that. We never had anybody in the arts before. So I guess it just never was in the equation. It was never on the table for me. Like, arts? That's a serious job.
But it's common in Filipino families, right? Like to have their kids perform. Or
Yeah.
dance. Oh, sayo ka dyan.
Yeah.
Like, did you do that like at Christmas parties and stuff? Were you like the best in your family? Were you the one that was always dragged into it, or were you like the last one?
I was the one that always got dragged into it. And also, in class, I was the radio of the class. Like, there was a time when my teacher Estaris, Mom Estaris, whenever she had to leave the room to tend to some emergency or something, she would be like, Hazel, come up here in front. So I'd be in front of the class, and then the teacher would say, tell Hazel what you want her to sing. She'll sing it for you.
Wow.
I'll be back.
So you're the jukebox.
So I'm the jukebox. So if they say, sing dadalhin, that's basically me. And I have no idea but that was basically the life that I was gonna lead.
You were being trained and catered into eventually doing entertainment. So how did you, sorry to go back to like schooling and stuff, right? But like, how did you like architecture? Like, was it fun? Did you find meaning in the education and even the field? Definitely,
I enjoyed studying architecture while I was studying. There was a lot of creative process. There was a lot of it's a complicated mix of math and artistry, creativity, and I think the complication in itself got me into it. And then seeing how much people use architecture, like how much it affected how people felt entering a building or just looking at it. It could affect how a family could interact in that house. That kind of really got to me and inspired me to keep pushing forward. But then I got into the actual industry, and that's when the game is different, totally different. It's not. Yeah. There's a lot more emphasis on budget and stability and practicality instead of creativity. So that kind of drained me in the sense, because I couldn't have fun with what I want to happen.
Yeah.
So that frustrated me, and there was the creative process is different when you're in actual practice, because when you're actually practicing, you're more focused on the budget and the math of it all than the creativity, and that didn't sit too well with the artist
With
side.
the artist in you. Yeah. I think that's the problem with most creatives too, no? Like you want to just be creative. Because it's similar in music, right? Like you just want to be creative, but there's always money that's stopping you.
Yes.
That's like the biggest brick wall for most creatives.
For every artist. That's why they have this thing, starve like an artist.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you're a real artist, you're going to starve.
Yep. You're supposed to starve. Yeah. Even if you're a rich artist, just starve anyway, because that's what artists do.
Yeah, because, thinness is...
Fitness. Anyway, to move on from architecture into music. So, how long did you practice architecture?
I was practicing architecture for about 7 months.
7 months, and then you left for music or
acting.
Acting.
It was so weird because then I got invited to be an extra before the 7-month thing. I got invited to be an extra in a TV show, and I remember thinking I do need the extra money because matakaw ako.
So food monies.
Food monies.
Okay.
Yes. That's my number one motivation, food.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I needed the extra money, so I was like, yeah, sure, let's try. And then I think something clicked in me that it was like, oh yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it kind of snowballed from there because the director seemed to like me and the production.
What did you have to do in your
first?
first? This is a commercial?
No, it was a teleseries. It was a TV series.
So your first big break was
I had
a
to slap
teleserie.
somebody. I had to slap this big star to
get into the show.
Yeah. No, I was
show.
in it already.
You had to slap. Okay.
Because I was supposed to. I was supposed to be just another
Put
extra.
me in the show. Okay, sorry. Yeah.
I was supposed to be just another extra.
And then they decided.
And then they were like, "Can you read lines?" Sure, let's read lines. Since I speak,
you're like, I can read.
I speak English well, and I have a pretty good memory because I did study in Mapua. You have to have pretty good memory there.
Be pretty good, yeah.
So so I remember the lines, and they asked me to fight with their main character, and I did.
And hence the slap.
I did.
Wow.
I slapped, and she slapped, and we slap. And from then on, I kept.
And
getting
that was
more
your
calls.
first role where you were supposed to be an extra.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then eventually, it was like up and down. There would be days where I'm like, I have a line with the lead or something, and then there would be days where I'm the blur in the back. It's just up and down, different roles, but it was a job and it got me extra income. And then it started snowballing. That's when I couldn't control anymore. I didn't notice that I was spending more of my time on set than in the office.
Right.
And I wasn't even like being productive. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Sorry to whoever your old
Sorry
boss
to my
was.
old bosses. I was so wrong. I was so bad. I'm sorry.
Well, hopefully no bridges were burned when you decided to leave architecture.
No. They were the one that offered it to me. They called me up in the office and I was like, "Oh, shiz,
get out
I'm
of
in
here."
trouble."
Okay.
And then they're like, and my boss is really nice about it. He was like, "If you feel like this is really your calling, I suggest you go for it, and we'll just support you. If you don't, you can always come back here." And we're like,
"Wow,
thanks, bye."
Yeah, thanks, but no. It's not. At least you have a plan Z.
Yeah,
in case things don't work out, you can always go back into architecture.
Yeah, sometimes when I was starting in the industry, there were times where I would go 6 months without a job, and I needed money. So I would actually design freelance for some people, so that I could get something to eat.
Wow. So the starving, unless you just eat a lot. Just eat a lot.
It's true though. The starving artist thing is real. I got thin because of that.
Starving artist is real because artists are always hungry.
Yes.
Gutom is life. Okay, actually, it's really cool. I didn't know about your first big break, so it just spiraled from there.
It wasn't even big.
Amazing.
I mean, it was
a big deal, though, right?
It was a
good
spark.
show.
Yeah, it was a spark of something.
Was it a big show? And what was the show?
It was in GMA. Is it Kasalanan Bang Ibigan Ka? I think the title, and it was with Jackie Rice.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, Jackie Rice was so nice. Can I just say, she's like the nicest person.
For someone
And
you just slapped
we
up
just
and
slapped
just
each other,
yeah.
but she was so nice about it. She was like, "No, really, slap me. Let's just hold each other here so it doesn't hurt." And she was like super nice.
So this is something I need to know. Like when actors physically attack each other, it seems to happen a lot in
Yes.
Philippine like dramas,
Yeah.
especially for women. Like I feel bad. Guys never hit each other. Right? But how do you rehearse that? And does it really hurt? Like
Well, it
What's the
depends.
process?
It depends on your partner, because you have to have consent first. So,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
any other act.
yes, hit me. Consent. Anyway.
Yeah, because it says in the script you have to hit each other. Maybe, is it okay for me to hit you for real? And they're like, yeah, I need it for real because I can feel it better.
Wow.
Or they'll be like, no, I'm kind of sensitive. Don't touch me there. Okay, then I'll just fake it. When you fake it, you hit with just your fingers. It doesn't hurt. It's like that. But when it's for real, you hit with your here. Not
Like the
not-
front of the yeah. Not the palm, but
Yeah.
like just above.
Just keep it soft, but still gonna make a big loud sound.
Yeah.
So it's gonna.
So they don't use After Effects like
No.
sound effects. That's the real thing.
It's real.
Wow.
I could send you
Okay.
a clip of me
Yeah.
slapping a friend in the new TV series that I'm doing.
So okay. Normally, how many? I guess it depends, right? But like,
Yeah.
yeah, for that first role where you're just slapping this girl, how many takes did it? And like, did it hurt? Like,
I think it was just one or two takes. I think one rehearsal take and then one actual take for us. They try to minimize.
Minimize,
They try to
yeah.
minimize the number of takes we have
for like hurting each
for
other,
hurting
right?
each
Yeah.
other. Yeah, like that.
Unless like the director likes like, yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, hurt her again.
Yeah, did it some more. That's so masochistic. Yeah, okay.
But yeah, they try to keep it as audience. They try to keep it as short as possible, as quick as possible, because of course they don't want their artist to have a swollen face.
Of course,
But
of course.
I have heard of sequences, some other actors who had to do it like 46 times.
In order to get that effect, maybe it
Yeah.
requires
Yeah.
repetition. Actually, the transition into that from hurting to something more intimate, like when you have like a hug or a kiss. I guess hug is maybe
yeah.
easier, depends on some people. But like touching, like
Yeah.
kissing someone on set, on the scene, like how do you go about doing that?
Well, actually, it's so funny because throughout my short career here, I haven't had any on-screen kisses yet.
All right. But, all right. We're gonna mute that part. Not yet. Okay.
No, pero I have shot one scene before, but I don't think it's out on cinemas yet.
Okay.
So that's the only experience I actually have of having a romantic scene with a guy. But my partner was super professional, and he really made sure that I felt that it was all just part of the job.
Yeah.
It wasn't personal. It wasn't anything, and we were being friends about it. He was like, "Are you okay with this?" Okay, yes, I'm okay with this. Okay, let's do this. And then afterwards, no quippy jokes, no sexist comments,
Yeah,
nothing
yeah.
like that. He was just like, "Good, let's go eat."
Yeah. High five, right?
Yeah. So that kind of like put me at ease. I was like, "Oh yeah, okay. We're all professionals here. Nobody's taking advantage of anybody. It's all cool." So yeah, that was a great first for me.
Wow. Did you have any like insecurities going into it though?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like this is oh my god. Like,
Totally.
Like,
Coming from a Christian background,
Yes.
super. Like, I kept thinking, what my family say,
Yeah,
what my parents say, I'd be branded as this sexy only girl and stuff like that. But then I realized I was already judging my character, and that wasn't very artistic of me. Because then I'd be censoring the script and what the truth of it is, and I'd be hindering the actual storytelling. So then for me, my rule is when it comes to intimate scenes, if it is required, if it helps the story move forward,
Do it.
then I'll do it.
Do it.
But if it's not necessary, if it's just for eye candy, I will decline it.
Absolutely. It's all about tastefulness. I'm all
Yeah.
for that. Awesome. So I want to move into music. Because your experiences with acting, I feel like we can talk about it forever. There's a lot of cool stories we can share. But you guys need to hear Hazel Faith write songs and sing
Aw, thank
music.
you.
She's amazing. how did you transition? So your first big break, more or less, transitioning from architecture into acting. How did songwriting, how did music come into play?
Well, I was already acting when I was told about Himig Handog. And at that time, I was completely a novice in music, so I had absolutely no idea.
To give people a bit of background about Himig Handog, it is a huge songwriting competition for ABS-CBN. Yeah, anyway, sorry.
So I was a complete novice. I had no idea what the music industry was like or what Himig Handog was. They was just like, try it. Just send some of your songs. And I was like, okay, I'll just pick some random songs, send it. And
so you were writing songs while you were acting, or was this during architect days? Or
ever since I was 14, I've been writing songs.
You've been writing ever since.
So it was just for fun.
Okay,
like none of it was serious. So like I sent 2 old songs of mine, and I was really surprised that I got into the finalist top 15.
Yes.
And it got published. So that was my first ever song that got published.
That's
Everything
the
Takes
first.
Time. Yeah.
That is the first. Do you still remember it?
Yeah. Everything takes time.
Give us like a chorus,
okay.
sure.
'Cause everything takes time, as every song needs a rhyme. I know you want it now, but you get there somehow. Just let it all unfold. Tomorrow can't be told. Take it slow and you'll get more in time.
Yes. That's actually my first time seeing you. I was still living in Canada, and I was following Himig Handog.
Oh, wow.
And you're one of the few that wrote your own song and got to sing it.
Yeah, I think I was the only one in my batch.
Yeah, in your batch.
That was chosen to sing my own song, which was so funny because I was that shy, scared little girl that just didn't know how to perform in front of people. And then now I'm performing in front of everybody in Araneta. My knees were shaking. I was crying backstage. I was like, I'm not prepared for this.
It's like the biggest stage in the Philippines, arguably.
Yeah.
And it's your first time submitting a song and man.
It was
roller coaster, no?
Surreal because like when I heard my song for the first time being played by an orchestra, I was crying. My batchmates know this. I was the crybaby of the group because every time I hear my song on the radio, it's all a first for me. So I was crying every time. The first music video of everything, crying. I'm just that. It was that deep for me because
I'm just thinking like at rehearsals, like this is my first rehearsal meal. Oh man, yeah, that's awesome.
It was mind blowing to be able to have those big experiences for somebody who never dreamt about it. You know, like was too scared to even dream of having a song out in the radio. To hear it being played all over TV and MTV and Mix and be sung by other people. That was like, I couldn't believe it. I was immensely blessed by that. And then it transitioned.
Kept going.
Yeah, it kept going, thank God.
When I first met you and we did a collaboration video together, you're telling me a story about you writing things almost every day.
Yeah.
And you did that for a long time. And I would argue, guys, like, Hazel's blessed, yes, but you've been practicing all your life for it, right? Like, you've been writing since you're 14.
Yeah.
Like, how many songs do you think you've written ever?
Oh God, countless. I can't count
100,
it because
300, 2,000?
probably around the thousands.
Thousands.
About thousands, maybe 5,000.
That's crazy. No? Thousands.
Yeah. But not all of them are good. I'm just gonna say that.
Still, but
some of them are crap.
You're right. Like, how do you find the discipline in order to keep writing?
It's actually a lot like working out. It's really hard to tell yourself to keep going, finish that song. But then you just stop for a little bit and then come back to it. Just give it mga 10 minutes or an hour, refresh yourself and come back to it. It's a habit you have to form.
But why do you do it? Working out, I understand. People want to look good, they want to be healthy. Writing, though, like, what does it do for you?
Well, it's the same with your brain. Your brain is a muscle. You have to train it to have faster responses, reflexes. And when you're training your brain to use better words and to use better melodies, or at least sift through your old melodies and find a new one, it's preparing you for for the real deal, like the real battle, which is like writing a song for another artist or writing a song for yourself.
Right.
It's also a good way to explore your own voice, you know? Because the more you write, the more you let out the repetitive stuff. Like some people, they tend to have all love songs.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like having cheesecake every day. So you're like, why am I just making cheesecake every day?
Want to change it up.
Want to change it up?
Like...
Try to write every day and see what comes out. You'd be surprised what kind of songs come out of me. Like one time, I didn't even know that I usually stay out of politics, but I didn't even know that I was so angry about the state of our nation.
And it just came
that I
out
just
in your
wrote
words.
a rap song. A rap. And I was like, oh, when I'm mad, I rap.
Okay.
That's something.
When should we expect that political rap
Never.
song to be released? Oh,
No,
never.
because I'm never rapping.
No, imagine that though. You've written thousands of songs, but some of them will never ever be heard. Like
It's fine.
right?
Yeah, but that's why I encourage. I also encourage other artists to give their songs to other people, because some of those songs, they were only in the heat of the moment when I wrote them, and they don't really fit who I really am. So they would much rather fit another artist who actually advocates this kind of thing or has that same image for the song, and the song would actually be more of a hit if they sing it rather than me. Like Ogie Alcacid.
He's written so many songs.
So many amazing songs. And he himself can naturally sing, and he sings his own songs as well. But he has so many, countless hits from other artists. He wasn't being, I'm the artist, I should sing my own song. No offense to people who do that, that's fine. But I'm more of, I need to write for other people because I need to feel connected to them. I need to feel validated by them singing my song.
Yeah.
It's so weird, no?
You're so creative.
It's-
Actually, if I had to choose, because you're really good at acting. You're
Yeah.
really good at it. You're an
Thank you
amazing
so
singer
much.
and songwriter. But for me, you're a musician.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
truly, because you're like addicted to it and no one has to tell you to do it.
Yeah.
You just go and do it.
I can go for hours.
so weird.
I can go for hours talking about music. Shut up.
So
I
weird.
can go for
Right?
hours talking about
Why
just
would you write
music.
thousands of songs?
Exactly.
Why would you do it?
Exactly.
What's
I
wrong
would
with
do
you?
it without.
Just kidding.
I would do it even if I wasn't getting paid.
Wow,
I
yeah.
would do it if that was the only like even if I had like 1 peso to my name, I would still write songs.
You guys hear that? You can pay her a peso and she'll do it.
No.
Sayang. Okay, yeah. I thought we got you there for a sec. So yeah, if I was to ask you, do you have a preference on like what profession you do? Or like do you have something that's like, oh, this is gonna be me when I'm gone from this
Yeah.
world, when I'm up in heaven, I wanna be remembered as this.
Well, honestly, I love acting as much as every other actor here, but it was a learned love. I learned to love it.
Oh, okay.
I am the worst actress when I was a kid. I am the worst liar.
Oh,
So I
you
can't lie.
Take that position.
Yeah.
Be like, that's not me.
Yeah, so it's
okay.
like I had to learn how to act, but
Yeah.
with music, it's like breathing to me. Like
It's you, right?
sometimes I don't even know that I'm singing or I'm making a beat with my fork. I didn't
Wow.
know. So I think if I could choose where I could live the rest of my life doing, what I could live the rest of my life doing, it would be music, definitely.
Wow.
Not only for myself, but for other people.
But for
as
other
well.
people.
I want to grow old and produce music, timeless music, and that other generations in the future can even sing. That would be like, the perfect gift.
Wow. That's amazing. So how do you stay creative? Since the show is called Creative Pickings, how do you practice? Like, do you still, I know we talked about writing every day.
Yeah.
Are there any other like habits people should follow if they want to stay creative with their craft?
One thing is that I listen to all kinds of music, and I didn't know that this was a thing until some fans asked me about it. They were so surprised that I listened to Incubus, that I listened...
Why not Incubus? Anyway,
Exactly. Why not Incubus?
Wait, what artist do you think would surprise your fans? Artists that you listen to?
Julian Trono actually surprised me a lot because I didn't know that all of the underground hip hop artists that I listen to, he also
They
knew
listen
about.
to your music.
Yeah.
Wow, nice.
He listens
nice.
to Jay Dina. He listens to Janelle Monáe. He listens
Hey.
to Tinashe. And I was
Hey.
like, hey, you have
Right.
really freaking good taste.
What about your musical taste?
Uh-huh.
Like the ones that would surprise people?
I listen to Muse.
Muse, okay.
I listen to I listen to Toto. I listen to The Cure. I listen to Queen. Queen.
All rock, you're mentioning all rock. Those are all good.
Because nobody expects me to.
Because you're very poppy, right?
Yeah, I'm very pop. Oh my god. Paramore.
Rock.
Actually,
I love Paramore
we used
too.
to cover
Paramore's
Paramore
the
for
best.
funds, but yeah. Baka mamatay yung mic. But can anybody find me somebody to love?
Hey, that one's for you, Rose.
There you go. But yeah, that was from Queen. And the Platters.
I've never heard of the Platters.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're an old
Sorry. Oh my
they're
God,
an
sorry.
old group. But yeah, the
Yeah.
Platters and
Yeah.
if you know what's their most popular song, The Great Pretender. Oh yes, I'm the great pretender.
This is the face of
see,
someone
he
that's
knows
like,
it. How come he knows that you don't know it?
this is the face of someone that like,
But yeah, listen to it.
will do.
Throughout
Will do.
college, because the music of Earth, Wind and Fire, the Platters, they relaxed me when I was a kid, when I was studying. So
Nice.
that's the kind of music that I listen to.
So listen to lots of different music.
Yeah,
And
because you'll discover a lot of things culturally that are different. Like the Filipino sound is so different from the Japanese music.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and even from the Western, because as I see it now, Filipinos tend to look for Western music for inspiration, whereas there's so much to be unearthed when it comes to Korean, Japanese. K-pop is already saturated, but there's still a
very
lot of
mainstream.
creativity there.
Definitely.
There's a lot of
Definitely.
experimentation there, and I really encourage people to experiment with their sound.
Definitely. Yeah,
So, yeah.
experimenting. So that's what you do. And I think that's one of the good things of being able to do music for other artists.
Yes.
Is you can experiment like your political rap songs. And eventually it will come
still
out.
wants to hear
It will come out, just not under Hazel Faith.
No.
So I've got just a couple more questions.
Uh-huh.
If you could have any other career outside of music, acting, obviously been an architect before, something you think you'd never be able to do, what do you think that would be?
Never be able to do.
Or what would you like to do? I guess never say never, right?
Yes.
Never say never.
Justin Bieber.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, never say never. But yeah, what else could it be?
I would actually like to be a museum curator someday. That's the weirdest thing, right?
What kind of museum? What kind of art? What kind of stuff will be inside in there?
Because about last year I went to Paris and I went to the Louvre.
Hey.
And it was the most inspiring, enriching experience of my life. I recommend, if you ever go to Paris, go to the Louvre and spend like a whole day in it. Because then you'll see how hard these people have worked for centuries just for the sake of beauty
Yeah.
and realism.
And even the maintenance of the place
Yeah.
too, no? It's amazing.
So I could have spent like a whole week coming back and forth to Louvre, just listening to the history and to the reasons why these beautiful works of art were made. So if I was qualified, I would probably love to spend my life around art. That would be awesome, like Wonder Woman.
So to be able to choose your own, okay, let's say you're opening up your first museum 20 years from now.
Oh, wow.
What's going to be inside? Like the guy goes, Hazel, here's a few $1 million.
Wow.
Open up a museum in the Philippines. What's it gonna be? What's gonna be inside?
Oh my goodness. I would put holograms. TM. My idea.
Holograms.
I
like,
would put hologram art in it
Okay.
because that's where the future is going, and just seeing like I want art to be experienced, which is already going on right now, but I want art to be experienced, felt, maybe heard, and like a 4D museum where you can actually
Wow.
Because some people are not able to appreciate the art if they just stare at it from a picture. But if they see it, if they are able to touch it, if they are able to experience it, then that art finally becomes alive, you know, and it actually affects them. And isn't that what art is all about? It's affecting people, making them think, making them...
Getting the senses going.
Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
So if I were ever to have an art TM, it's art museum, it would be a hollow, a 3D kind of museum.
And you're an architect, so you can build the place.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, it's all coming together.
But can I make like a little shout out to all the museums here in the Philippines?
Yes.
I recently went to the Natural History Museum and it was beautiful. It was up to par with the New York Liberty Museum.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I hope more Filipinos go and visit and support our history and our culture because we are actually very rich in beauty. We just kind of hide it in all the now, right?
Yeah.
So I really hope more people appreciate Filipino art because it's so good, and the moment you hear it, you're like, I've been missing out on this all my life. Which is what I felt.
This is me right now.
I mean, my playlist, right?
Yeah.
My playlist was like mind blowing. I heard songs from like before, even when my mom was young, and that was like, oh, those were the
Shout out
songs.
to Sir Noel, Sir Moy, Mr. C. Amazing. All right, so let's close this, Hazel.
Sure.
Do you have any things you want to promote right now?
Oh yeah.
Go.
My latest single, Meron Nga Kaya, is out now on Spotify, and I don't know when this is going to be published, but by the time this is published, the music video might be out already on YouTube.
Hey.
So please do vote for it on Mix. Just go to my YouTube channel. I'm going to post a tutorial on how to vote for Mix for Meron Nga Kaya. And then also, if you like the song, please do follow me on Spotify, Hazel Faith, and all of my social medias, which will be connected to the fan page, official Hazel Faith fan page.
And you have a show coming up.
Oh yeah,
Are you
and
allowed to talk about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
We're done filming for it, but we were filming for Blue Jeans, which is a TV series about 6 different college kids who have different lives and different struggles about being adulthood, and how their lives coincide.
Ooh.
So I will be playing Cherry here, who is a mysterious girl. Should I say it? Who moonlights as a stripper.
Okay.
So
wow.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. And,
mysterious stripper.
Mysterious stripper.
They're very mysterious people. Wearing blue jeans.
Yes. Stripper wearing blue jeans.
I mean, eventually comes off. But anyway, okay, great, awesome.
But yeah, it's out on Sari channel on Signal TV, and it's out every Saturday 9 p.m. Replays are on Tuesday 8 p.m. and Wednesday 10 p.m.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's it, guys.